Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see what types of validations are available in OmniScript and how we can use them. So the first one is very simple validation, which is just a checkbox on the input elements where we can mark them as required. And OmniScript will show the error message whenever that is marked. So let's go and see how that works. So this is an OmniScript which I have built, and it contains one step, the first step, which has all these elements, of which the second element is the last name, and the last name is marked as required. So whenever this is marked as required and user doesn't fill any value here, they will be seeing an error like like this. Okay, so this is the first one. Then comes the second one, which is the pattern matching. So pattern matching is used for matching the regex pattern of an phone or SSN or zip. Okay, so let's see how that works. This is a phone element. So as we all know that element should accept only 10 digits. So if we want to do a pattern matching on this, we can go to validation option and write the regex pattern which we want to match. For the phone, we need the 0 to 9 digits and number of digits would be 10. Whenever the pattern which is mentioned here doesn't match, user will be shown this error message. So let's see how that works. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have put in 11 digits and it gives me the error. If I remove this, the error will be gone. So that's pattern matching. Now we have the text block element. So if your application has a requirement of showing the error message in a particular pattern or particular font which is different from what is provided out of the box, then you can use text block to show your error messages. Suppose city, I want to show the error message in a particular format whenever the city is not entered. For that, I have dragged and dropped a text block element. I have put the error message in the required format inside this, and I have added a conditional view on it, which the condition shows up and checks if the city is null, then this error message will be, this text will be shown on the screen as you were seeing it here. Here, please enter the city. Now, if I enter the city, the error message should go away. So that's text block, which can be reutilized for showing the error message in a particular pattern. Then we have set errors. So set errors is used for validating after the user has clicked on the next button or the submit button on that page when the step is finished. Okay, so suppose I have a country field here, that's a text field, and I want to validate that country out of the list which is present in my sandbox. So I have a metadata which has the list of countries which are valid. So what I will do here is whenever user enters the country value here, I will call this data raptor after the step, which will take into input the input of the user, and it will try to fetch the metadata with that name. In the extract, if you see a country's metadata, it's saying developer name, whatever the chosen value is. Now, if the value is found and developer name is not blank, I will send this formula as true, country exists. Otherwise, I will send it as false. Now, what I will do here is I will drag and drop a set error element. Inside the set error elements, we have to do two things. The first thing is add the error map. In the error map, I want to add the element name in which I want to show that error. So my element name is country. And on the right hand side, I have to give the condition on which I want to show that error and what the error is. So my condition is if country exists is false, I want to show this error, enter a valid country. And I want to show this error, set error element only if the country exists is false. So I've added a conditional view here which says country exists is false as well. Let's see how that works. So I will enter everything because I have to validate after the step is validated. I'll put the country as a country which does not exist and submit. Now I'm getting the error message from that set error elements. Now I will change the country back to a valid country, which is present in my metadata, and submit it. And the submission was successful. So that's set errors. Then we have messaging element. So messaging element works on not only for errors but for comments, for warnings as well, success as well. So messaging element is a UI element which can be dragged and dropped here like a UI. So what I've for displaying what's the use of it, I have used it for first name. Whenever the first name is not entered, I put a conditional view here, not conditional view, sorry. Yeah, validate expression. Okay. So I have to put in the validate expression what condition do I want to check. So based on the validate expression, if this expression is true or false, I can show a warning or a success or whatever. So if first name is null, that is true, then it would be a warning. First name is required. And if the first name is not null, then it's a success and it will show first name is successful. First name validation is successful. So let's see how that works. So see, as the first name is null, it's showing me first name is required. Whenever I put the first name here, it will turn to the success. First name validation is successful. So that's how a messaging element works. Now we have default error messages for three types of elements, which are files, actions, and images. So it will work only for these three types. So how that can work is, let me deactivate this set errors first and activate this show default error. Okay, so show default error, I've used it as a remote action. So whenever this remote action will create an account. Okay, and whenever this remote action fails, for whatever reason it fails, I don't want to show the error message which is coming from the remote action. I want to override it and give some other error message which I want to show. So for that, I will put here the default error message. So whenever an error this will be shown on the screen instead of the error which was the real error. Okay, this is a user friendly error which we can override it with. Now let's go and see. Okay, so this is the remote action method element name, and I'm seeing this error we put in the default. But if you see the error message which is coming from the remote action is a different one. Okay, some required validation is failing on the insert. So instead of this error message, I'm seeing this default error. So that's how you can use the default error message. Now, the last one is custom error message for the same element, files, actions, and image elements. So for this, we will activate this other remote action, which has used the custom error message, and deactivate this one. So this remote action will fetch the path of the error. It will mention what's the value is there, and it will add a custom error message for that particular error. So whenever error occurs with this particular value, this message will be shown. So let's see how that works. So account name is missing. Whenever that error occurs, this is the error message which we are going to get. So these are the types of validation which exist in OmniScript. Thanks for watching.